Blackmores is committed to providing a safe and sustainable workplace for its employees. Everyone has a role to play in ensuring that we have a safe workplace. It is not just the responsibility of management or supervisors to maintain a safe environment. Each of you must take responsibility to actively contribute and participate in the safety culture that has been developed and will continue to evolve. Please watch this short induction video and commit to following the guidelines and procedures it contains. I also ask that each of you actively seek to improve safety at Blackmores by raising concerns, watching out for your workmates, reporting hazards and incidents, and working with Blackmores to develop a culture that doesn't accept second best or live with risk, but rather promotes excellence in all that we do.
Blackmores is a values-driven company, and these values are woven into every fibre of this organisation. The values are known as our pearls and underpin our work practices, and are supported by legal policies and procedures.
All personnel entering the DC must be accompanied until they have been inducted. Subcontractors and visitors must sign in with reception or the warehouse office and keep their issued tags on them at all times. Issued security tags must not be shared and are the responsibility of the person assigned to them. Mobile phones are not permitted to be used in the warehouse and must be stored in your allocated locker during work hours. Eating and drinking is restricted to the staff lounge. No food or drink is allowed in the warehouse with the exception of sealed water bottles stored in the designated stations. Smoking is not permitted on site. Your manager will show you the designated area. Alcohol and drugs or working under the influence of them is not permitted. High visibility safety vests must be correctly worn at all times when in the warehouse or on hard stand area. Enclosed flat shoes must be worn. No open shoes or heels. Safety boots or steel caps are required for staff operating material handling equipment. Staff are encouraged to challenge anyone that is not wearing the appropriate personal protective equipment. Blackmores operates within the guidelines of the Code of Good Manufacturing Practice and Good Warehousing Distribution Practice. All personnel in GMP and GXP environments must adhere to the relevant codes of practice. Areas in the warehouse and areas joining production or sampling rooms are defined as certain zones. The warehouse is a black zone. Production and the sampling rooms are white zones. The areas joining them are classed as grey zones. Grey zones are crossover or transition areas, and staff from both areas can use them but are not permitted to access the next zone. This means that a standard of dress is required for each zone, and you must not enter them without the appropriate training and dress code. An unsafe workplace is hazardous as it can lead to serious injury and even death. The key thing to remember is that most injuries and fatalities can be prevented by following these safety regulations. Stay within the designated walkways and obey all traffic and safety signs. Using or talking on mobile phones is prohibited within the distribution centre unless authorised to do so. Wear the appropriate personal protective equipment when cleaning up glass, spills or accidents as directed to avoid further injury. Report all hazards, accidents, collisions and near misses to the manager or team leader, however minor they may be. It is important to be aware that the area you work in is shared with forklifts, and you need to take precautions to ensure that you stay safe within the workplace. Pedestrians must keep a distance of 4 metres between themselves and moving forklifts. When a forklift approaches, stop and wait for the forklift operator to acknowledge you can pass safely. Never walk behind a moving forklift or enter warehouse aisles that a machine is working in. Forklifts are powerful, heavy pieces of equipment and pose risks to both drivers and people walking in the areas they are used in. Forklift incidents can be prevented by adhering to the workplace safety regulations. Forklift operators will also be required to complete a forklift safety module. Forklift operators must keep their current forklift licence on site. They must travel at a safe speed to ensure that they maintain safe control of the vehicle and their load. Forklift operators must slow down, stop and sound horn at the end of each aisle, corner, doorways and on approach of pedestrians or other material handling equipment. Remove the keys when exiting the vehicle to prevent unauthorised people using equipment. You must not obstruct any emergency or fire equipment when parking to ensure that it is accessible for emergency use at all times. Report any safety concerns to your supervisor immediately. Work areas must be maintained, swept daily and kept free from clutter to ensure they are free from trip hazards. Product is not to be stored on the ground and must be stored on racks above the ground to comply with GMP standards. Issues must be reported to your supervisor immediately, however small. Emergency procedures, meeting points and first aid areas differ from site to site. On your site walk-around, you will be made familiar with these points. If the site alarm sounds, immediately leave the building via the nearest exit in a calm and orderly manner and proceed to the site evacuation point. Your team leader will show you this point on your site walk-around. Do not re-enter the building unless instructed by the fire warden. Note where fire extinguishers and exits are located so you are familiar with them in an emergency. First aid points and first aiders are on site if required. Alternate between tasks wherever possible to avoid potential injuries. Perform movements smoothly with comfortable balanced posture, with minimal bending, twisting or overreaching. Take regular breaks when performing repetitive tasks. Use mechanical aids such as a trolley when required. Position tools, controls, equipment or furniture to allow work to be done in a comfortable upright position, with most work carried out at a waist level. Don't lift, push or pull anything too heavy. Break the load down into smaller lots and ask for help if the load is too heavy. Hold loads close to the body when lifting. Don't lift heavy items while you're sitting down. Change posture and working position throughout the day to avoid prolonged sitting or standing. Avoid working on areas of floor that are cluttered, uneven, wet or slippery. If the task is compromising your safety, tell your supervisor so they can assess the safety of the activity and make amendments. Thank you for your contribution to our safe working environment here at Blackmores.